Okay, let me persist and play devil's advocate. The reason I asked you about whether this was lip service to the cause is because we know that under the new tax regime, there are very few converts. We don't even have the numbers. I don't know why the government hasn't released the numbers. Is it because you do realize that perhaps people want the exemptions of the old tax regime and do not want to be without a safety net? One. Two, if you were so well disposed towards the middle class, why no relief in indirect taxes? Then how are we to believe you when you say that middle classes have been given relief?
Rahul, first of all, the indirect tax regime is no more in our hands. The indirect tax regime is now handled by the GST Council, and they are the ones who take the decisions, where the vast majority is held by the states. The center has a smaller role than all the states put together. So that's a collective decision that is taken under the wisdom of the GST Council. As regards the few areas which are still in our control, we have been able to, despite petrol and diesel prices reaching the roof, the center kept giving relief to the common man. The prices have been stable. The opposition ruled states even today have not reduced the VAT. It is only the BJP NDA states and the centre which has continuously given relief to the middle class. Similarly, even in our custom duties, as you will see now, we have supported and tried to encourage domestic industry, which will mean jobs and new opportunities for our entrepreneurs. At the same time, we've tried to make it more affordable to own a television, for example, more attractive to have an electric vehicle. So we are continuously making every single effort we can to promote domestic industry, to improve the quality of goods and services in India, to make it attractive for the world market, and therefore expand our international engagement. And lastly, every step of the way, we are working to empower 140 crore Indians. We are working to bring more transparency and honesty into the system. And that is a wholesome thinking, a holistic thinking, which today is liked by the common man, by the people of India, which is why election after election we receive their support and their blessings.
No, that's fine. I agree with you, but you haven't answered my question about the lip service aspect of this tax cut, because only a very few people will avail of this or even benefit from this. So how is it such a big sweeping bonanza?
Well, I think as more and more people will assess in the context of today's announcements and the lower tax rates, and particularly the complete exemption up to 7 lakhs, my own sense is, and then even after 7 lakhs up to 9 lakhs, you have a very small 5% tax rate, and it goes at different levels at very small, or rather 3 lakh to 6 lakh at 5%, 6 to 9 lakhs at 10%. The overall tax burden has been kept so reasonable that my sense is more and more people will now find virtue in the new tax regime.
Even though the opposition says that the new tax regime will rob them of a security net. That's what Chidambaram has said in his comments.
No, Rahul, I think Mr. Chidambaram is misguiding the people. In our view, it is the choice of each individual what he wants to do, which particular saving instrument he would like to put his money in. I don't see any reason why after 7 decades of independence, 75 years of independence, we still need to have that old thinking where we need to guide our people towards an insurance policy. I think insurance companies need to make their policies so attractive that more and more people are attracted to them. I think our banks need to make their offerings so attractive that people are attracted to them. I think stock markets will have to now vie for or compete on an equal footing with everybody. Housing will have to make their prices so attractive that people are attracted towards a particular project or scheme. I don't think it's the government's job to be forcing or encouraging people in one direction vis-a-vis the other. Our people are smart. Our middle class knows what is good for them, and they will make intelligent decisions. That is the belief that we all have.
Well, I suppose if they trust Mr. Modi on this, then they will adopt the new tax regime, and that we can only know if you release the numbers. Why we haven't seen those numbers is a mystery, and I don't know if you will want to clarify on that. But I also want to, apart from this,
Rahul,
yes, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Rahul, may I, Rahul, for just a minute?
Of course.
Just before I came into my office from Parliament, I asked one of my colleagues in the office, one of the young boys who's working here, I said, how do you look at both these schemes? He said, sir, all of us youngsters, we prefer the new tax regime, the people who are coming into work now. Many of the old people, older employees, since they have already locked into an insurance policy, for example, or they are locked into a bank deposit, or they have locked into a particular saving instrument, which under the earlier regime was getting certain benefits, they have no choice but to stay in that.
Okay.
So I think it was a very intelligent answer from a young boy in my office.
Okay. Well,
and
I wonder if you